Hello, so this video is about etching glass, and I personally do custom glass etching. Most of the time I do wine glasses, but this order in particular was for whiskey glasses. And there is 3 ways that I will show you that you can etch a glass that is round. You can get the big expensive machines. I do not have one. I do have a laser engraving machine. However, it cannot do, as of right now, it cannot do the rounded, rounded glassware. So you can get attachments. I may do that, and then I could show you that way. But for now, I just have the 3 simple ways to do it. And I'm going to show you first. Excuse the language that's on these. They're custom orders. So this is just the order that I tried all 3 on. And I thought, well, I've used the etching cream before, and now I've been doing the etching tool, which is like a Dremel. And then there's the armor etch, and then there is the sandblasting, which I don't have that in here. I have a handheld sandblasting tool, and you just put the sand in the top and then it blasts it out. So I'm going to show you the 3 different results that I have right here with me. First, this one is the etching cream. Now, I used to do this one all the time. This was my go-to. I was always hesitant to try the other ways, and it just wasn't working as well for me for the simple fact that you may not be able to see it very well, but you can get edges. There you can kind of see it right by the glare. There's the edge right there. When you go to wash off the etching cream, no matter if you do it within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, it doesn't matter. I always seem to get this edge. I've tried like doing the paper towels, blotting it off and wiping it off that way. I've tried all different techniques. For me, it would work, I think, if you did tape off the whole glass. I have not tried it that way. But I did try, I cut my own stencils from vinyl. So I did try to make the vinyl longer so it wouldn't do that, and it still seemed to get on somehow, some way on another part of the glass. And I've even had it end up inside the glass, like right on the rim here when you go to rinse it off. So if you use the etching cream, you can have good luck with it. You just have to be careful about getting it on the glass when you go to wash it off. So yes, this one is also a little bit discolored. You can easily fix that by just doing, before you peel off your whatever you use for a stencil, you just run it over a whole, like you wipe off what you have and then basically just do it again, and it'll take away the discoloring. However, I don't really like how bold it is per se. To me, it almost looks like it is painted on there. Like the actual, like this part here, the actual finished parts, they're a little too bold for me. But if you like it that way, that would be the way to go. Now, just keep in mind that you do want to wear gloves. It will irritate your skin. And then, of course, with all of these, you're going to want to wear the protective masks. Shh. Sorry. So this is the etching cream. And then give you a little bit of a better close-up view. Okay, so that was the etching cream. The Armor Etch is the brand that I've always used, and I started out with pretty good luck with it, but really the only problems I have is the edging, and I don't like it etched that bold. So then I'm going to move on to this sandblasting, and oh boy, that is a mess. So it was in my hair for days, down like every inch of my body like was covered in sand in the end. I know there's protective gear that you can wear. Like, of course, I was wearing like the face shield and stuff, but it got in my hair, and it makes a mess. So you want to do it outside, of course. We did it in the garage, just because you have to plug it in. So we didn't want to do the extension all the way outside. So we did it in the garage, and it did make a really, really big mess. But you do have to get the specific sand for it. The other thing I've heard of doing is soda blasting, and it's very similar as far as I know. But that is another technique that I haven't tried. But here's the sand blasting technique. So this one I'm not a fan of. Not just because of the mess, but to me, it looks really grainy. Okay. We sat and played with it for probably a good hour. I'm trying to do different angles, different, like how far we stood back from it. I don't know, just different things we tried with it. And I taped this off, completely taped it off all the way around the stencil. It still got under the stencil and inside the rim on the other opposite side. So it does eat through the vinyl. So you do not, if you do this technique, you do not want to use vinyl as your stencil. I've seen where people do a black coating, and it's like a rubber coating, like a liquid rubber of some sort, but I really didn't want to get that in depth with it. I just thought, I'll purchase it, play with it. The sandblaster will work well for other things around the house, or I should say outside. We have an old shed that we're gonna strip down and then repaint, so it'll be good for that, for taking off like old paint that's peeling off the outside of the house, things like that. But as far as for the glassware, it's not what I would use. I don't like the grainy look. It looks like it has a really bad texture to it, but it really doesn't. And even it was a strong clear tape, that packing tape that I used, and it ate right through it. So you just have to be careful what you tape it off with and what you use for your stencil on this. So that is, and it's not as steady throughout, and think that is because when my fiance was helping me with it, he was having fun too. He tried to do the tea, and he sat on that for a while. So it takes a long while just to get this far. We didn't even get much of this down here on there, and it's just a mess. It's a hot mess, but it was worth a try. So that was not my favorite technique. I would definitely do the armor etch before I did that. The third technique is what people call a Dremel. It's an off-brand that I got on Amazon for like, I don't know, 10 or 15 bucks or whatever. To me, it takes a while. Something like this took about 45 minutes per glass. Hi, baby. Sorry, I do have kids, so you will see them probably in every one of my videos, but that's life. No, you can't have those. This is my favorite technique to do, other than the fact that it takes forever, because you're doing it all by hand. You're not just painting it on there, letting it sit, washing off. You're not just blasting it on there and then being done. You do have to take the time. Now, I do, of course, the vinyl. The vinyl holds up really well. Sorry. With the tool itself, you can choose the different speed, I want to say, so that it'll go more in depth. So you can make it kind of grainy if you wanted it looking grainy, but to me it's more clean because it's not as light and grainy as the sandblaster, and it's not as bold as the etching cream. It's kind of right in the middle, happy medium. So this is my personal favorite. It just takes a while to do, but you can break up your time. Like, you don't have to do a full 45 minutes. And the only reason I think it took that long for this one is just because of the little words down here and the little stars. As you're doing it, you want to make sure that all of your edges are clean. The etching cream did also bleed when it got to the smaller words down here. You can see The I is really close to the N, and there's a very, very, very small line of vinyl in between the two, and it kind of seeped underneath it. So you have to make sure that you have thicker vinyl pieces when you're doing etching cream. With the engraving, it just takes more time, it takes practice, and to get it all, it's still not perfect, but to get it all the same grain, and then to make sure all of your edges are clean. But the best thing about the tool is when you peel off your whatever you use to make your, I use vinyl, like I said. So when you peel that off, your stencil off, you do have the ability to go back through and do fine details if you need to. So I really like that about that too. So that is the 3 different things that I have tried. I'm going to show you one last time before they get all crazy. It's bedtime, so, you know. So here's your etching cream. You can get it to even out by just putting another layer before peeling your vinyl off, but I don't personally like it because of the edging and things and the bleeding. And if I had to, I would use it as a secondary method. This is probably my second favorite. And then you have your crazy hot mess sandblasting. That's just, but if I practice with it, I feel like if I found something stronger than vinyl to do it with, and I practice, I mean, you'd have to wear something like head to toe. But, I mean, we stood a good ways back, and it still was just everywhere. I mean, it shoots so hard to get it to do that, and it took longer than it would to use my tool. Like I said, we were out there a good hour just trying to get, and we didn't even finish it. So it's just a mess. But I feel like if we maybe messed around with it, we could get better. I don't know if I want to particularly do that, but some of you might go that route and try it out. And then my favorite is, it's really super clean. It just is time consuming compared to the etching cream, but you don't get the bleeding, you don't get the all the nonsense. So that is my perspective on the 3 different ways you can etch glass. And if you have any ways that you etch glass that work for you that I didn't show, or maybe you got one of these other 2 to work better than me, let me know. Comment and tell me what tricks you guys use, what products you guys use to etch your glass. Even post some pictures of your work. I would love to see it. So thanks for watching, guys. And if you have any questions, you can always comment, or you can follow my Facebook page and send me a message. Thanks. Have a great one.